investment and trading arena, we usually consider RSI as the light, which shows us the direction while we go forward. And if that's the case, you can see we are trending higher with higher highs and higher lows. That is not bad. Now, if you look at it on even shorter time frame, now this is 4-hour chart, and if you are looking at XRP on an hourly chart, you kind of get to see this. Now, most of them try to trade this market like this, which is really hard. At least I personally consider that's too volatile in a volatile asset class. Instead, you look at this, because this is a market where 90% of traders never make huge money. 10% does make a ton of it. Now, why do that 10% make a ton of it? Look at this. What can you really see here? You can pause the video and even look. It's so easy and basic that anyone can understand this. But the trouble is, the lack of cognitive ability to understand it is increasing now. When the price is going down, that's usually when we buy. It's not when the price is going up. You try to chase the green candles, you end up in red. You try to bake the bottom, it's fine. Even if you are not getting the exact bottom, you still get a lower price. So each time, look at this, when we bounce, we come back to a new low. The monkey is jumping, agreed, but the base is tied to its tail. So as the monkey jumps, the base is also rising with it. So that's something which is obviously really cool. At least if you ask me, because the general outlook of the market is not that bad. Now look at the patterns. Look at how trend is moving. Now if I'm to look at this trend, I'm like, okay, this was something similar which happened recently, and that's not actually a bad sign. Great. Now you were kind of having that lower highs at the point before that capitulation. Then after that capitulation, when you broke below the 200-day moving average, which is the red line in here, you kind of had, or at least started doing higher low. So higher lows in this one indicates change in trend or the momentum shifting. And then eventually when the 20-day moving average was crossing the 200-day moving average to the downside, which usually is considered as a bearish mark, you have to understand, I've explained this previously, when you get a bearish cross on a daily, weekly, monthly, usually price goes to the opposite side. It goes back to retest that moving average and then go back down if the trend is to continue to the downside. But here it was in the bull market, you got a bearish signal, but the price came back to retest that moving average. Great. Then it went back but got supported at that rising trend line. When you draw the trend line, the problem which majority makes is like, they just look at one line. Now, yeah, even though it's fine, 90% of the time you don't get that accurately. That's where you can actually use a rotated rectangle to look at the range of fluctuation. And if you see, okay, you got a wick here, right? You got a bounce here and here. So that's kind of the range which you are extending from there. In that perspective, it's fine. You came back, retested that one, and then bounced off again to retest the previous high. So put that into perspective here. Yeah, I'm not saying we are going to do $100 now. I'm saying, in the short term, we would be going towards the moving average or just about that. Fine, that's somewhere near to a dollar mark. Come back down to this trending line. That would be 0.68. Fine, and then we bounce off. And as we bounce off this one, we would be going towards that $2 mark. Now, why I'm highlighting that? A lot of people were kind of, missed the chance to take the profit at near 1.91, $2 mark. And if you was kind of that group of people who were kind of, missed that, you're going to get that opportunity. Now, as you bounce higher, remember, it's not directly going sky high. And if it does, that's great news. I like it. You like it. It's green numbers in your portfolio. I'm like a huge XRP fan with a ton of my portfolio sized in XRP. So when it's pumping higher, I'm fine. Now, why am I majority in XRP? I'm going to show you. You look at Bitcoin. In this cycle, there is something different, a little bit. Now, it's not, I'm not saying this like, This time it's different. I'm not saying it like this because that usually never works. Why? We look at history, we learn from history, and it shows us there are potential stuff which is happening behind this. Now, why am I so high on XRP? I'm going to explain that to you with certain stuff. Now, this is from Goldman Sachs. Great. Look at this. It's June 2021. Yeah, it's a month old, but look at this picture and tell me, what do you see? There's a lot of things which you can directly get. XRP is placed first in between the fiat currencies. It starts from end XRP, Bitcoin. It moves higher. In the bottom you have Ether, Dash. So it also shows you Binance Coin. Great. Now, as you go higher, as you continue higher and move, what you need to look inside this document, if you have time and if you're reading through this, there's a lot of different stuff which shows you the valuation model. It's not just one table showing you, yeah, we are on the top. It's not only that, because this is an asset class with a ton of different assets with a lot of different perspectives. Fine. So what are we gonna look at? Because this gives you that idea what the price will be in future. This is the valuation model, and that's coming from Goldman Sachs. Now, why is that important? Say if you look at the general stuff of stock markets, you would be usually looking at things like, okay, the profits to earning ratio, fine, the cash reserves of that company, great, the debt level of the company. Now, these are the common factors which you can eye. Great, fine. So what would you look in cryptocurrencies? Right now, you don't have such a pricing model. You don't have such a detail to analyze. But yes, you can also look at them like how they are working, what they are doing right now, and how institutions are looking at all of this. Now, that's not a small deal because this is a long document through which you can go again and again. But some of the important area is like, yes, in the history, gold is not the optimal store of value, but it stores your value. Great. At least it's not eating your fiat purchasing power with inflation. It's still moving higher. Fine. But now there is a technology which is changing everything. Now, when I say changing everything, you need to understand the correlation between gold and Bitcoin. Now, that Bitcoin for these guys would be the general market, fine, but it's an asset too. Now, when they compare everything with Bitcoin, the FedWire, Discover, JCB, ACH, all of them are payment systems. All of them are payment service. Bitcoin was created as a peer-to-peer review system, but right now, it's not like that. Now, this is the stuff which I really want to highlight you. Valuing cryptocurrencies. Do you really want to do that? Let's do that. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Now, understand, as we speak on, we are going to get through these documents which are really important. Now, they consider valuing cryptocurrencies. Fine. What are they looking at? Cash flow analysis. Okay, fine. How does it actually manage it? And the liquidity level, because that's really important. You shouldn't be liquid in a state to increase money, decrease money, put money in, take money out, that kind of stuff. Now we can compare it with gold. Okay, by the time when XRP was out, you can take the price of XRP, you can take the price of gold, and look at how it varied. Great, it's been volatile, I agree. Now the next stuff is money supply. If cryptocurrencies are not really currencies serving as medium of exchange or units of measurement, given their current volatility and slow processing, applying economic equation related to money supply to value this asset is meaningless. So you don't have to actually do that. Instead, payment systems. If cryptocurrencies are considered to function as a payment system similar to Visa, MasterCard and other payment networks, they should be valued comparatively to these other systems. Now the difference is Visa, MasterCard, they are companies. Say for example, RippleNet is a company. Ripple is a company providing RippleNet as a product. Fine, great. But XRP and XRP Ledger is not. It's a system which would be used by the majority of central banks. Now that's the speculation from my end with all the information I have gone through over the years. Now that's not, that's skyrocketing rocket science kind of stuff. It's simple stuff which you get from BIS, Bank of International reports, you get from IMF report, you get from United Nations report, you get from World Economic Forum report. You go through annual reports of all of these and it's easy. Now, if you already own XRP, you already know what payment system means for XRP and XRP Ledger. Then money transfer services. Now, that's kind of huge because Bitcoin has been used for remittances, especially for remittance emerging market. Okay, so you see it like this, which is something similar to what Swift offers. Then, would you really have to jump onto Bitcoin? If you are energy saving, if you are fees structures, looking at that, and if you really want to save on that one, it's way better to use something better than that. Fine. So as you look at this particular figure, this is kind of a little bit important to understand here. Most of the bars which they show you here from Western Union, Wise, RIA, Euronet, say Bitcoin, MoneyGram, Remitly, World Remit and all. Now you look at Bitcoin being compared with all of this. Why? Because in the white paper of Bitcoin, it has been shown like a peer-to-peer payment mechanism where it doesn't actually fit much. Considering, all the specification which that network offers, that's not much. Yeah, it solves the pain point a little bit compared to Swift. But there is a ton of different mechanisms which actually solve that better with more adoption rate, with more interaction rate with the regulators, with the banks, with the central banks, the supranational organizations with BIS, IMF. When they name Ripple the company, when they name this product, that's not a bad thing, because here what you see, majority of others from that chart, except Bitcoin, is kind of working with Ripple. That is something which I want to show you, because they are highlighting money transfer service, which was one among the valuation factor for cryptocurrency. So this is all coming back to utility. If you understand this side of it, you will make money in this market. But the difference is, will that be in this market cycle or will that be in the coming market cycle? Now, coming market cycle means 8 years to the top of next cycle. You put 1.5 year for this cycle to top out. You put like 3 to 4 years of bear market. Then you add on 2 years of bull market. So that's like 8 years, 7 to 8 years. That's a long wait. So if you can make money in this market cycle, which is like 1 year more or 1.5 year more, that's going to be an opportunity for you. They compare with a lot of different assets, and usually what we do is buy at the bottom and sell at the top. So if you are trying to buy an asset at the top, that's completely up to you. But we try to give you the charts on clear perspective for a lot of different assets, so that you know what that asset is doing right now. And if you are going in to buy that, you're buying based on well-educated, informed, calculated guess, right? You're looking at the likeliness, you're looking at the odds for that to happen for a lot of different assets. So that's what we do in the Patreon. If you want that, you can look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description. Now, this is the month. Starting here, you get the most value early this month, or any month for that matter, because if you want value, we deliver you value. So as we just saw, that one is valuing the cryptocurrencies. You can look at the payment systems. You see RippleNet connected to XRP Ledger, which is not that, again, rocket science. You already know that. And then it's also a money transfer service. Now, it's not only for these money transfer service, it's also for all type of payments. You do any type of business, let it be service, let it be goods, it ends in payments. It ends in exchange of value. So that means payment system is at the core of next business model. That's why you see a ton of focus being shifted to liquidity, being shifted towards the sustainable finance for next 10 years. If you are an investor looking to make money, that's an opportunity for you, because when we see the adoption of on-demand liquidity in Europe is increasing to 50%, that directly means they are using XRP as a bridge asset. So as you continue to look at these stuff, you really get that clear understanding that the market is kind of showing you great stuffs. Because when, say for example, Facebook guy, the Zuckerberg, he made a ton of money. But the question is, can you do something similar to Facebook? If not, what you are trying to do there is look for these guys who are coming out with extensive research, coming out with, that extensive quality products, invest in them. Now, you are early in that product, but the problem is those who are early in any product will have to wait extensively long period to get that profit. But right now, if you look at the long-term structure here, you're kind of one among the lucky guy who is coming into the market when the market is trending higher. Now, trending higher, but in a bull market in this time, you're getting ton of 70% corrections, 75% corrections. That's normal. Because as you get more and more people coming in thinking, I'm going to be the next billionaire or millionaire next month, that's a lot of volatility because they are coming in with immature thoughts. They are not financially mature. So what we are looking at here is easy stuff. That's something for you to make money. It's so easy for the majority to understand that we are going to make money in this market. It's not so wrong because the RSI shows you that we are breaking to the upside in one and the MACD is already closing to the upside. Here, last time when MACD crossed, when the 20-day moving average was crossing to the downside above the 200-day moving average, you went up. Similarly, right now the 20-day moving average is crossing to the downside above the 200-day moving average. Right now the MACD is crossing to the upside, RSI broke to the upside, so all of them kind of add on. So if, these are to play as it shows, that means you're going to get an opportunity where you're going to move towards $1, then slowly correct back to 0.8 or 0.75, then jump from there to 1.8 to $2 mark. Eventually, you're going to consolidate there. 1.3, 1.5 would be the support at that level, and then you're going to continue to a new high, which would be $6 to $10. Now understand, from that $2 mark, it's not that huge. It's 3 to 4, 5x. So that's what we are looking at here, right? 0.6. Then you went up to $2, like 3x. So that's great. If you are in this market to make money, you're not looking from the ROI at the top to the new top. You are looking from the bottom to the top. That's why I told you, be like eagles. Why? You go in, if that's your mentality as an investor, you go in trying to catch that falling knife. Now, believe me, you will definitely bleed when you try to do that. And that's part of the game. If you see the blade and like, I can't do this, you drop it, done. Then this market is not for you. For that matter, any market is not for you. Because if you want to make money, you need to put the hard work in. And that here is the emotional balance. And that's the attitude from your end as an investor. And if you don't have that attitude, don't jump in. And if you are having that attitude, with time you're gonna make money because you have that attitude. It's not for an hour. If you have that for years, you are gonna sustain and you're gonna create that generational wealth. Have you ever heard Rome is not built in a single day? Similarly, if you want to create an empire, generational wealth, remember that quote, Rome is not created in a day. So with that, you understand that the market shows you opportunity, and it's opportunities as a bull for an asset. Say I'm a bull in XRP, I'm never a bear for XRP. So for me, the opportunity always comes in when the market is down, when the market has tanked extensively, right? That's huge opportunities. And you take benefit of that, go in early. Now early, so it's from, the Howard Marks used to say like the wise does something so early and the fools does that late. So what the wise does, now I forgot the actual quote, but what the wise does early is the same stuff which the fool does at the end. So if you are wise and if you are early, that's great for price, but now you need to wait. You need to also have patience. Not only be the wise guy, but also be the patient guy. That's how you make money. And if you got that point, please do hit that like and subscribe button if you received value throughout this video. So guys, if you want to see these kind of charts for different assets and understand what the market is going to do, because if Bitcoin is going to continue consolidating here, drop a little bit to 29k, or if we break below that, that's a dangerous symbol. We may actually go to 22 to 24k dollar mark. So that's a possibility, because the RSI is showing you that if we don't come back up in RSI, that's going to be red days in Bitcoin, and altcoin going to consolidate. Chances are higher altcoin to Bitcoin pair will slowly grind up, Bitcoin dominance go down all season in. So if you are ready for that, great. Tune for the next video. Bye for now.